was eating ice cream.
Thanks, but I
Diana,
want to be king.
Gold's eating
Why
potato
be
chips
queen
before
when
doing
you can be
exercise.
king?
I know. I'm kind of
Besides,
hungry because all those
one
potato
of
chip
my
noises.
favorite things to do as a teenager was research mistresses of kings, of rulers, and it is
Whoa.
not a fun time to be a queen. If you're a
Mommy's
queen,
stinky.
the king can replace you at any time for someone else. Like how I think it was Catherine or Aragorn gets replaced by Henry VI for Anne Boleyn. Anne Boleyn gets into Catherine's she's Catherine, one of Catherine's maids, and she joins the court that way, and then she gets into Henry VI's pants, well, his heart really, and she convinces him all this stuff about how she's gonna give him a son, and he believes her, and then but and then he wants to divorce his wife Catherine for her, his wife of more than a decade, and then the problem that they had at that point though was he couldn't divorce her because he was Catholic. They were Catholic, and the Catholic Church doesn't allow divorces. So what they did was they broke from the Catholic Church, and Henry creates a new church, the Church of England, and names himself the Pope of the Church of England.
Gold light.
To be able to
Let's go to a
get a
different portal.
divorce from his wife.
He needs to change the scenery.
So he can marry Anne Boleyn. So yeah, no, I don't want to be queen because you're only queen as long as one man tells you you're queen. And as soon as that man says, you ain't queen anymore, you ain't queen. So I'd rather be king, not queen. That's my whole thought process around it. I really love Anne Boleyn. She's pretty crazy, and I'd never want to know her in real life because she's such a narcissistic user and manipulator. But I really love her. I have her
hungry too.
Huh? She's power hungry.
Anyway,
pretty power hungry. I love her.
Fuck.
Anne Boleyn did become queen, by the way, and then about a year or two later, she couldn't produce a heir for Henry. I think it wasn't his wives. It was Henry's sperm that was the problem. But anyway, she couldn't make an heir for him, so he accused her of witchcraft, a male heir. He could make girls just fine, but he couldn't make a male heir, which, I mean, obviously you couldn't make, if the male heir is the one that's always having problems, it's probably the Y chromosome. And guess what? Women don't have Y chromosomes, only men do. So there was some sort of problem with Henry's Y chromosome, is my guess. And instead of believing that about himself, he actually marries 6 wives. 6 of them. Six wives. He puts I think two of them down to death, and then the only one that really survives is Jane, and she survives by surviving him, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, and Anne Boleyn makes Elizabeth, and Catherine made Mary, Queen of Scots, who is a Bloody Mary, by the way. And she's called Bloody Mary because after Henry dies, she gets power. And what she does with the power is she decides to turn the whole of England back into a Catholic kingdom. And when she makes that decision, she decides to kill anybody that is Protestant. And there's stories of her her people, her men burning people alive. And then there was a story of one where they burn a woman with her baby, and as she's burning, she like throws the baby away from the fire, and they pick up the baby with like a pitchfork and toss it back in the fire. So yeah, that's kind of why Bloody Mary got her reputation as Bloody Mary. She wasn't the best. She was really bitter and jaded about her mom's like dethronement at the hands of her father, and she took it out on her people. Yeah, she took it out on her people, and then after she got so bad, her sister Elizabeth actually gets more support, and her sister Elizabeth sees what Mary is doing, and she's like, I gotta do something to save my country and my people. And so she decides to raise an army, and she raises like a volunteer army and does a civil war against her sister, and takes power back. And Elizabeth, also known as the Virgin Queen, decides to never marry because she doesn't trust men, and she doesn't want her power to, like, if she got married, her husband might take power, you know. So she didn't want the power to be like given to her husband, even though she would have wanted to produce an heir. So she doesn't, but like she like rules for a long time. Actually, her rule was like a very peaceful time for England, peaceful time of great stability. So she's a pretty good queen.